but I'm not supposed to say that, but I don't care. Like I said, but
Well, start telling us, because a lot of this is actually known. It's just the public doesn't know. I mean, tell people years ago when you were in, what was being prepared. Because it's like, I mean, even by the middle of Obama's term, he said, we have the military ready to take on constitutionalists, and we're going to use United Nations forces to do it. That's been, and now the UN runs strong cities, and take over the police, and their cover will be race riots, claiming it's for black people. Of course, it has nothing to do with black people. It's about a world government takeover.
Correct. Every time we train 5 years out for what's going to happen in the next 5 years. That's how you do it. So in 2010, we were training, and that's when the Jade Helm and all this stuff was going on. They had us drive, and we're, escorting special units that they didn't really speak good English, but they're wearing tactical gear, armed, and I'm thinking to myself, who the hell are these guys? Well, we have to drive around the city, make this stuff in the house, do a dry run, bring them to the courthouse, and the wife would bring these people to the courthouse. It wasn't an actual purge, it was just...
Yeah, you're practicing putting people in the helicopter and sending them to a UN base, which we all actually been declassified, but you were on the ground witnessing this. But come back, let's talk about that, because what they're going to have is they're going to claim Antifa is going and killing all the patriots. But really, they've got trained outside mercenary teams. I told you this years ago, but even top White House advisor Caputo came out 2 weeks ago and said they've got special hit teams from the UN inside the U.S. We're in a lot of trouble, folks. They've been planning this a while. Sir, he was saying was dead on from information I have, so I thought he'd be an informative person to have on with us. But I want to explain what happened. The Carnegie Foundation, after World War II, they were doing some of it before, but after World War II, they said we've been tasked with freedom from war. And that was the project. So they wrote a bunch of reports on it. Most of those are public. And they just said, we'll use chemicals in the water to make men docile. And we'll put women in charge of society, kind of in the phase out. And then we'll just lower human population down to a very manageable 500 million. So that's the official numbers you see today from the UN. But then they try to stir up actual wars at the same time as the pretext to come in and take control. So really, it's just an evolutionary takeover of human society, which Aldous Huxley wrote about in Brave New World in 1932, which before he died in 1961, he said was the actual plan, where they use chemicals again to do this. That's why they were pushing for all birth to be cesarean, no mothers, nurse. All of this is taking control of the human process, like Monsanto does with seeds and the Terminator genes, so that you don't ever have a plant that can produce more plants. It's patenting life, it's ending life as we know it. If you look at State Department Memorandum 7277 from 1962, it says, we'll disarm police departments, disarm the U.S. military, and incrementally bring in a UN force and train police to accept it. And so this has just been the ongoing program. Trump's come in and disrupted that, but this is here. So Ron in Florida, please continue with what you witnessed and what you saw and what you want to impart to the listeners.
Be prepared. Watcher 6, everybody. They're here. They're in the United States. They're building container ships in small communities and rural areas. I've seen it with my own eyes. Florida has the biggest population of retired veterans, police departments, veterans, military veterans. And if you look at the small towns that's there, that they live in, they're building container shipyards in decommissioned tracks, right, Alex? And no coincidence, the name of these companies are, just saying it, 1776, 1775, 1991. These are the names of these container companies. You do a background check, they're all registered in Hong Kong. You ask stuff, why we need container ships in the middle of nowhere with no seaport, there's nothing around. I've seen it with my own eyes. They're doing it now. You can look up these companies. They're around in Florida. They're starting up now. And it has to be done within 3 months, they're saying. So they're getting ready. It's true.
Well, there's been a bunch of busts of Chinese shipping in automatic weapons and rocket launchers. That's even come out here and there in the news.
Correct. So who owns the Chinese ports in California? I mean,
China.
China. The American wonders why they're not getting any ammo coming in. They're controlling everything, what's coming in. And American people gotta understand, they're disarming all outside of borders of the United States. New Jersey, New York, California, because in World War II, Japan couldn't invade the United States because everybody had a gun. It would be a 1,000-year war.
Admiral Yamamoto said we've awakened the sleeping giant. There will be a rifle behind every blade of grass and we try to invade.
Correct. So why they're not doing gun control or minimum magazines in the middle of America? No, they're doing it outside in the borders. California, now Texas, Florida, they try to do the 9-round magazine ban or whatever, extended magazine ban. But people gotta understand, look what's around us. We're all surrounded by communist countries. Look at these. Panama.
Well, they've already taken the west and east coast. They're already collapsing the economies there. They're already pushing their people in. You're right, sir. This is a scientific, long-term plan. Remember what the weathermen said they would do? Plunge the U.S. economy, bankrupt things. Once Civil War started as a race war, they would then bring in Chinese troops. That's Larry Griswold infiltrated them in the 60s, and that was their plan then. And now they're trying, and they said they would kill between 25 and 50 million Americans. And that was that number that they planned to put us in these camps. Now they say they're going to use COVID as the cover of why you're disappeared. And most neighbors will submit when you're drug away because they believe it's COVID. I mean, they're really trying it. And only Trump exposing it, only us admitting how much trouble we're in is going to stop this. They're making their move, folks. They're making their move.
Just give you a heads up, Alex. I don't do hearsay stuff. I tell you how it is. We had a guy in one of our teams that does special operations with the United States government. And he worked at the border. And he came back to the unit after 3 months. He came back. He wasn't allowed to talk and stuff. We're not, we're hanging out. We're close friends with him. He comes and tells us, he goes, you guys know why they putting the wall up? These American people are stupid. And I said, why? Well, yeah, to keep the immigrants. He goes, no. He goes, dude, there's Chinese troops in Mexico. They're in Mexico. There's troops in Mexico. They have a camp down there. And I said, what? No way. He goes, listen, guys, I never lied to you guys. This is top secret stuff. You guys are not supposed to know this.